G'day YouTube, Down to Bricks here. Today we're having a look at the latest LEGO Star Wars UCS offering, the mighty AT-AT. What a beast this is, and it's very hard to work with to do a review like this. But some stats on it, the set number is 75313, has 6,785 pieces, comes with 9 minifigs, and if you're looking at the cost, it is £700, it is 800 US, 800 Euro, 1300 Australian, and a whopping 1500 New Zealand. And price is one thing we're going to be talking about today. So in this showcase, of course, I'm going to be going through the whole of the AT-AT. We're going to talk about the things I like, the things I don't like. I do have a couple of things I want to have a chat about. Of course, we're going to go through all the interior and talk about some of the design elements, and we will go through all of the extra goodies that we get with it as well. We'll also be doing some comparisons with this model, and one of the ones I'm really looking forward to is I have the rebrickable plus size AT-AT up there, and I want to get that down on the table and compare that with it. So we'll do some comparisons. But one of the first things I want to have a chat about, it is definitely a display piece. Yes, it has lots of accessibility into the interior, has lots of play features, I guess you could say, but one thing, you have to give it some respect. You have to be a little bit careful with it. There are a lot of pieces that if you're a little bit rough, if you're a little bit clumsy, you can knock pieces off here and there. So you have to treat it with a little bit of respect. But in saying that, the main structure of the design is very solid, and it is a very sturdy model. So some of the extras we get with this model, we get 2 snow speeders, and they're a new design speeder. If I put a minifigure there, I think they're much more minifig scale than the speeders we've got in the past, so they're very nice design. With the minifigures, we get 2 drivers. We get General Veers, and he is new with the new molded legs. We get a Commander Snow Trooper, and if you can see the badge on his left shoulder there, and then we get 4 snow troopers, and of course we get Luke Skywalker. He has some fantastic printing, and we do get an E-Web blaster as well. We have our plaque, which I haven't attached, but if we turn the plaque around, we have our tool that is used to adjust our legs. There's just so many cool features with this model. You can have Luke grappling his way up to lightsaber the hatch open to throw in his thermal detonator. Without removing all the panels, you can actually open the side panel and have some troops displayed inside. You can access the front and rear of the body just by folding these panels out. And of course, you can remove this whole panel that just holds on to these little pins here that slot into these holes here. And if you want full access to the interior, you can remove all of the panels. 1, 2, and 3. So for the first time, I think we can say we've got a fully decked out interior for a Star Wars UCS set. So we have 40 seats for 40 troops. Now you can fit a lot more than 40 troops in here, but just seated you can fit 40 troops. You can see I've got some of the troops there, and you can fit their weapons in between each seat. There's nowhere for your blaster, but there's plenty of room to place it in there, maybe over here, up the back. Up the back here we have these compartments for the fuel cells, so lots of nice detail there with all the piping, and there is fuel cells inside these compartments, but that's something I'll let you discover for yourself. We can fit 4 speeder bikes, 2 on each side, 1 on the upper level, 1 on the lower level. There's lots of sticker detail. Well, not lots, but there's a fair amount of sticker detail in here. Nothing to get too concerned about for us sticker haters. There's a ladder going up so you can reach each deck. And of course we have a simulated door here to take you through to the cockpit. Now to pick this behemoth up, I find the best thing is just to have a flat palm up underneath the guts there and just lift it straight up. And the features just don't stop. So when we come to the head of the AT-AT, we have our blasters on the sides here that can rotate up and down. We have a recoil effect for our main cannons, and that's a whole lot of fun. There are some miscoloured pieces. We've got a blue Technic piece there, and we have another Technic pin in dark tan. They're not too bad. One of my nitpicks with this set is the side panels here on the head. So they don't sit in, so you get a little bit of gappage that you can see through. And I would have liked to see some sort of mechanism that locks those in a little better. And in fact, I'm thinking once I've finished playing with this beast and I put on display, I'm actually thinking about rigging some pieces up with a rubber band to actually pull those in nice and tight and hold it better for once it's finished and on display. But I really think Lego should have thought about something there. But the real fun here is getting inside the cockpit. So we can just lift up this main top here, and then you can see all the action inside. And I've chucked a couple of troopers in there just to show you how much space you have inside this cockpit. And that's easy to fit in 5 minifigures. And of course, if you want to get in there better, these side panels just lift up and come straight off. Easier said than done. There we go. And they just hang in there with these pins here going into some holes just there, and that's all that holds that in place. And now just to get a better look, I'll remove this top piece, which is quite easy to do. Just has some pins go back into there, and we can have a look at the control panel, and we have a sticker here with an image out onto Hoth with the shield generators. And as you can see, lots of room for the minifigures. We have the simulated door here to get through to the body of the AT-AT, and there we have General Veers at his control panel. One of the best engineering designs here has been able to adjust the legs and articulate the legs, and you have 2 points to do this, one in the upper leg and one in the knee. And down in here we have some little Technic pins, and you use your tool, and by inserting your tool you can move the worm gear, and what that does is turn that gear, and you can actually bend at the knee and at the hip. But there's more to this ingenious design for this model than just the articulated legs, and the head is one of them. Now, it has this natural sag, and I think that's very clever from Lego, because in the majority of the scenes, the AT-ATs are looking down on Hoth. They're shooting down, and we get this natural sag, and I believe it's intentional to have this sag. And we also get this almost organic movement to the neck, so we can turn it side to side, but it has up and down movement as well. And I was just very impressed with the design for this neck element for the AT-AT. But out of all these designs, one of the things I was most impressed with was the ankles. And it has a number of gears that allow the natural movement for the feet, but also once you've moved the feet, the gears can lock it in to give the model the stability that it requires. Now, there's so much to marvel at over this set, but I have heard a couple of issues that people have had with it, and one of the main ones is the use of some coloured pieces that stand out. Now, some of the instances I've heard, you really have to go looking over the model. You've got to look at, down in gaps. You've got to look behind panels to see these coloured pieces, and honestly, I really think they're stretching there. I don't really have an issue with most of these coloured pieces. Like I said, there's some coloured pieces here on the guns. Now, I do wish that they weren't there, but those ones don't really bother me. This pin here, that's a half pin, half axle. They only come in tan and blue. So, yeah, should they do them in grey? Definitely, but they don't. So it's just something that we have to sort of live with, I guess. But the one that I can't live with is this tan plate up on this panel here, and it's both front and back, both sides, and I just think that is sloppy. At all the awesome design that has gone into this, and to have a coloured plate like that just sticking out. I mean, on the inside is a grey plate, and then they have a tan plate. Why have they done that? That is very, very sloppy on Lego's behalf, and it's something that I'm going to be looking at swapping out, because it's one of those things that once you see it, you just can't unsee it. And yeah, that's the one that really stands out to me. So now it's time for the thing I love to do most in a review, and that's do some comparisons. So we're going to bring in the PlayScale AT-AT from 2020. I just love to do that. I mean, it just goes to show how huge this UCS model is. And I tell you, you will never look at a PlayScale AT-AT the same ever again once you have this in your collection. And now to bring in the Rebrickable plus size AT-AT. Now, if I remember rightly off the top of my head, this is 2,500 pieces. So it's a little bit more respectable in size, but still pales in size to this new UCS AT-AT. And last of all, with a PlayScale Snowspeeder, I think that actually works really well. So my final thoughts for this incredible model, and it is incredible. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you have to be a little bit careful with it. There is some pieces that are easy to knock off. Sometimes it takes a little bit to align the panels, so you have to fandangle with it a little bit at times. But I really have to give praise to the Lego designers. I mean, to have a movable head, the adjustable legs, the design that went into this, it really is incredible. And all the kudos go to the Lego designer. He's really done a fantastic job to have an AT-AT of this size and this weight to be posable is really an achievement. Is it perfect? No, it's not. I have a couple of issues with it, like I've talked about through the video. Yeah, the gaps on the side panel of the head, the tan pieces up on the top panels there that really stand out. They're my biggest complaints with it, and I mean, at the end of the day, they're not really big complaints, are they? But the positives far outweigh any negatives, that is for sure. I mean, the level of detail, the full interior with unrestricted access, really, isn't it? The number of minifigs for a UCS set, it's minifig scale, it's easy to move around, and it is massive. And I've been playing around with this for a couple of weeks now, and you just don't get used to this sheer size of it. So the biggest sticking point with this set, and the monkey in the room, I guess, is the price. I mean, is it overpriced? Most definitely. But isn't every Lego set overpriced? But I guess some things to consider is it is a licensed set, so that's definitely going to push up the price. It does have a larger selection of minifigures than usual, but it really just comes down to how much do you want an all-terrain armoured transport in your collection. We have waited a long, long time to have this iconic vehicle in our collection. So someone like me, it really was not a question. I had to have this in my collection. There are a lot of custom models available that you can look into, and when you think about that, all the work that it's going to take to put all those pieces together, the cost of it, I mean, there's a fair chunk of change just in this plus size AT-AT, let alone trying to put together something this size. The custom models are static in design, not particularly stable, so really to me it's a no-brainer to have an official Lego set. I mean, there's something special about having an official Lego set, isn't there? And just the box art, when you open this thing, I don't want to spoil that, but once you get one yourself and you open it up, the artwork inside, some of the little things that they reveal, it's really awesome and a lot of fun. Here in Australia, it's $1,300. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do. I absolutely love this AT-AT. I mean, like I said, we waited so long for it to have this. If you're a UCS collector, to be able to put this in your collection is just a real highlight. And yeah, like I always suggest, this model, it's the same price as the Millennium Falcon, $1,300. I've seen that Falcon down under $1,000. So, you know, if you're not in a hurry for it, if you can hold out, I definitely suggest to hold out, pick it up on sale. If you can get under $1,000, I mean, that's just an absolute bonus, isn't it? There's just so many iconic vehicles in the Star Wars universe, from the TIE Fighter to the X-Wing, to the Star Destroyer, to the Millennium Falcon, and now we have an AT-AT to be able to put with our collection. It's truly amazing. A brilliant piece of engineering on Lego's behalf. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. It's beautiful. I love it. I hope you do too. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.